Oh, goodness. This week we're in Southeast Florida. We're heading offshore and we're looking for pelagics. It's springtime here in Stuart, Florida, and this is a great time to get offshore. The winds are laying off, the seas are calming, and you know, our plan is to get out there, try a bunch of different techniques looking for these pelagics. We're gonna be drift fishing, running and gunning, and lastly, slow trolling. And you know, slow trolling is the tried and true technique, you know, up most of Florida seaboard for fishing for these pelagics. We're going to be utilizing live baits, trying to cover some water, and hopefully get the bite that we're looking for. As far as tackle, we're pretty much bringing a wide variety of things. You know, we got some rods for throwing artificials, you know, plenty of rods for live baiting, because that was going to be, you know, one of the things that we were going to be doing. And in preparation for that, Mike actually had penned up some mullet for us. So first thing in the morning we stopped, picked up these mullet, but we also went by and purchased some bait. You know, this is not something that you always have to do. Time was somewhat of an essence for us. We could have caught bait that morning, but rather than messing around with it, we just stopped and bought some pilchards and some greenies. This week we're fishing with Mike Raz. This guy, he's actually kind of somewhat new to Florida, but you know, he's really eager to learn. He's been getting out there. I've been following him. He's doing quite well in some local tournaments, so I'm excited to see what the day has in store for us. The weather conditions were not quite as forecasted. You know, we were expecting pretty much dead calm seas, you know, and really light winds. Clearing the inlet though, we had somewhat of a pretty stiff northwest breeze, which is somewhat unusual for this time of the year. We knew the further offshore we got, the rougher it was gonna get. All right, first thing this morning, went out of St. Lucie Inlet, Mike Raz. What are you thinking for today, bud?
I'm hoping we can get something in the box. A little pelagic bite.
So slow trolling live baits, kind of big fish fishing in a small boat, really. I mean, we're out here, it's a little rough this morning, blowing north, northwest, maybe 10 to 15. But you've been on a decent pelagic bite, right?
Yeah, it's been pretty good.
Some sails and some dolphins, so we're just gonna slow troll, right?
Just try to find what we can.
You never really know when you come out here kind of what the day's gonna give you, so you kind of have to be prepared. And there's many different ways to target these, you know, pelagics. We brought the kite in case we want to fly a kite. We brought some crabs in case we want to do some bottom fishing as well, and some bottom rods. So we're just gonna roll with the punches, and usually when you come out here, that's the best way to be. We're gonna keep it pretty simple today, you know, just using some spinning rods, 6,000 to 8,000 size clashes, you know, just some Carnage boat rods, and really it's just a 4 or 5 foot section of 60-pound fluorocarbon. We're gonna use a nice big trocar circle hook, and something a little bit different. We're just gonna use these copper pins right here, and all we're gonna do here is fold these over. We're gonna leave the bails open while we're slow trolling, clip the line on like that. So that way when a sailfish comes up, they have a tendency a lot of times to come up and hit the bait and miss it. So it's just gonna pop out, free spool to them, give them an opportunity to eat the bait. This is just a quick little way, nice little tip on, you know, how to fish a standard spinning rod, spinning reel, live bait. So out of this inlet, you know, the kind of the sweet zone is at, you know, 80 to 120, 150, even 200 feet of water, and you immediately get some baits out. And it didn't take, I mean, I'm literally don't have, you know, all the baits out and we get hammered by some dolphin. It was chaos from the get-go. Dolphin, dolphin, right here on me. On one of these short baits. Fish on. Oh, nice dolphin, nice dolphin. God, we just got out here, bait's barely set up, and we're already got fish on. I got one on here. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Another fish on right here. Oh, you got one on your right line too.
We're all clustered. We're clustered. I got one right here.
I'm trying to fight one, I got another one. Here, take this one. Put that one in the rod holder. This is a little better fish right here.
Turned all of them.
There he is. Nice. All right, there it is. First dolphin of the morning. Let's get him in the Yeti. Oh, get our sandwiches out of the way. Woo! So we start the morning off slow trolling, and this is a great technique, especially fishing out of a smaller boat. You can easily fish 4 lines, you know, and the principle behind this is we're just gonna pretty much free lining a live bait behind the boat, barely kick the boat in gear, so it's just in gear to keep the boat forward momentum, to keep the bait straight behind you and from getting tangled. The great thing about this too is you're covering a lot of water. You're not just drifting, slowly moving over the surface. You're covering some water, you know, and when you're looking for that bite in varying depths, this is a great way to do it.
Real-Time Florida Sportsman is brought to you by Mercury Marine, #1 on the water.
When we're slow trolling offshore, we're typically using either a greenie, a pilchard, or a mullet. They all work equally well. Some days one's better than the other, but it's nice to have a variety as well. Mullets are great baits, you know. It's funny because Mike and I were talking, there's so many people just run right offshore, right out of the river, which is loaded with mullet, to go look for bait and spend hours offshore trying to sabiki or net bait offshore when you have mullet readily available. And you know, everything out in the ocean will eat a mullet. So our spread was a mullet, a couple pilchards, and a greenie. And on top of that, we were gonna deploy a dredge, a strip teaser dredge, and you know, and create some flash back there, and hopefully, you know, attract some fish up to us. You know, a lot of big boats run dredges, natural dredges. They'll have 50, you know, ballyhoo rigged up on it. We're just running a strip teaser Mylar dredge. And I've just kind of adapted to Triton, put an eye bolt up there. That way I can, you know, pivot this away from the motor a little bit. I also got a little release clip down here, and I can fish this right behind the dredge. So it's just, what it's gonna do is just keep that bait right behind the dredge. A lot of times a sailfish, dolphin will come in, and they're looking for that straggler. So right now, we just have this line going right down. That mullet is sitting right behind that dredge. That's what, if he comes in on the dredge, that's the first thing he's gonna see, and he's gonna eat it. Feel like that shark?
I think so.
We saw a big hammerhead back there. And I don't know if that's what we have.
Something. Not happy.
We'll kind of head that way and see what happens. We just saw a big hammerhead. No, there's the hammerhead right there, so it's not the hammerhead. Big hammerhead's right there. No telling what it is now.
Whatever it is, keep going.
Solid fish. I don't know. We saw some big sharks. We don't know if it's a shark or what. You think it was a big shark. Hit a bunt right through the mono, only using a 60-pound fluoro. You never know out here. That's the thing. You just never know. You're out here slow trolling these live baits. Everything in the ocean will eat these. So that's what's so fun about it. There he is. Big old hammerhead.
Oh, he's a big hammerhead.
That's a cool fish right there. Back around the other side, all the way around the front. I'm gonna take a turn on him?
Yeah, give it a whirl.
Let me get him. Oh, you ain't lying.
See what happens? You give it to him one time?
Yeah, I'll break it off for you. He was either coming up or he was breaking off. Well, we got the best of him. We saw him. That was amazing how long we had him on for. So we're going down a weed line, and really the reason for this is that the weeds hold bait and the pelagics are attracted to that bait. And that's something you always look for, a weed line. But if you don't have that weed line, you know, we're also looking for temperature breaks, current rips. And when you can't find those things on the surface, it's always a good idea is to find structure on the bottom to fish around. A lot of these reefs and artificial numbers hold a lot of bait, and in turn, they're gonna hold the pelagics as well. We got bid at 90, we're only out to 150, so we're just gonna make a turn inshore a little bit and head back in a little shallower, see what happens. It's nice to have that autopilot, ain't it?
It is. Works perfect.
It's crazy, you know, years ago you think of autopilot on a small boat, it just wasn't even in the cards, but nowadays, you know, even on bay boats, and it's surprising to me on how much I use it. I would never have thought I'd use it as much as I use it, but situations like this where you're slow trolling, you just set a heading and You can spend more time fishing rather than sitting there constantly course correcting. It's definitely a game changer. Sailfish, just right here, sail. Just ate the bait.
Just ate the bait. Go under me.
Trying to eat it. Trying to eat a sailfish right there. See his fin? Fin's out of the water. Here he comes, guys.
There he is. Come to eat.
There he is trying to eat. Come on. Come on. Come on. You want it.
Eat it.
Did he fade out?
No, he went that way.
Oh, you're kidding me. The sailfish will hurt your feelings. I mean, you'll wait for hours for a bite, and one will come in on a bait, and you'll see his sail half out of the water, chasing the bait around, getting your heart rate up, and you know what? Sometimes as quick as they come in, they fade away. Dude, we had a sail swim in just around the bait, circled it 5 times, just wouldn't commit. Crazy, frustrating. But you know, that's how it goes. You gotta be ready. Pitched him the bait, landed right on him, and fin was out of the water. It's cool to see. Never know. The sail fishing this area is pretty renowned. You know, especially the wintertime fishery has a lot of big boat tournaments, but year-round sailfish can be caught in this area. And again, another prized fish, highly sought after, and slow trolling these live baits is a great way to catch sailfish.
Real-Time Florida Sportsman is brought to you by Eagle Claw Trocar, the sharpest fish hooks in the world.
So the bite offshore was kind of slow. You know, it's midday, sun is high, and typically offshore the bite tends to slow around noontime. So Mike said he'd been on some permanent, on some inshore numbers, so we decided, you know what, let's just pick things up, run in there and try something different. So we switched it up. We've headed inshore now, trying some different techniques. You know, we're sitting on these artificial numbers off the southeast section of Florida and looking for some permit, and honestly, all the way down the coast there's permit this time of the year. Typically you like a nice calm day where, you know, high sun, it's easy to see them, but a little too rough today, so we're just going to cover all the water columns. Easy way to get them down on the bottom is just going to put them on a jig head. It doesn't really impede the way they swim. So I'm just using a 3/8 ounce jig head right here. I'm going to cast this one up current, let them fall back down through. Got some sitting up on top as well. You never really know. It's hard to see them, so we're just hoping one swims across our baits. I got one on! Just got here, put a crab out. Oh boy, don't go in towards the wreck. Forward, Mike, come on. Get him away from the wreck. If he wants to go that way, let's let him go away from the wreck. Keep going, Mike, keep going. Left. He's coming up. Go, go, go. Oh, look at that tail shake. Oh, this is a good one here. We had a rough afternoon. The bite kind of slowed down midday. You know, but seems like we're on them now. These things are so strong. Unbelievable how strong they are. Just pure power. There he is. The problem is, you know, you need light fluorocarbon to get the bite, so it's only 40-pound fluoro, 50-pound mainline, but you gotta horse them away from the wreck. But the problem is, you know, you can't use such heavy tackle. You'll pop them right off. So we pulled him away from the wreck, thank God, and you can see him down there right now. He's flashing, he's laid up sideways. Here he comes. This is a good one. A lot of times this is when the sharks will show up. Look at the size of this permit. Oh, that's the one right there. Easy on the leader, I'll bring him to you. Just grab him by the tail, Mike. Oh! Yes, come on up here with that. Look at this. Look at that.
That's
that
a
thing
fish.
has to be 40 pounds, man.
Wow.
If not better. It is solid. I can barely lift the thing. Threw one crab out there. Wow. And you see why they fight so hard? Look at that tail. Look at that body, how wide he is. Look at this. We got to get him back into work. All right, let's let this guy go. He gave me a good fight. God, what a stud. There he goes.
Yeah.
Permit or studs, you know, people travel far and wide to catch these things. Typically you're thinking of them on flats, you know, presenting a fly to them, but they love to be around structures and artificial reefs up the whole east coast of Florida. And this is a great time. Springtime is a great time to be targeting these things. And it happens out of Stewart, we have giant permit. And I tell you, when you hook one, they are one of the toughest fighting fish. Big, broad bodies, big forked tails. They can move a lot of water and really put a hurting on you. We were pretty much shot. We spent all day out on the water. We decided, you know what, it's time to call it a day and, you know, let's get back out in the morning and look for some more fish.
Real-Time Florida Sportsman is brought to you by Yeti Coolers, built for the wild.
Weather looked, quite a bit better on day 2. Seas had calmed down, the winds had laid off, but our plan was pretty much the same. We were going to run offshore, we were going to look for something that caught our eye. All right, day 2, morning. It's a Monday morning. We were out yesterday. It was a Sunday. There was a billion boats out here. Today's a little different. Nobody out here.
There's no one out here. Just by ourselves. Looking good.
We ran all the way out. We're over a little over 200 feet of water. We found this nice little edge, some weeds. So we're just going to slow troll down it. What do you think? Looks good, right?
Looks real good. Hopefully we can find something.
Dolphin, sail, I don't know, blackfin maybe. So you really never know. Like yesterday, we got to be prepared. Kind of throw the kitchen sink at them again if we need to. But we'll start out slow trolling with some live baits, got the dredge out again. See if we can find us a fish. We were seeing some rips that were holding weeds, but slow trolling, you're not really covering a lot of water. So we decided, you know what, let's pick things up and we're gonna run and gun. And really all that is, it's a technique that we really utilize when conditions are calm and you can see off in the distance and you know, you're just running. I mean, you just literally, that's all it is just getting up on plane, covering a lot of water, looking for weed lines, looking for any kind of structure, and you can cover a lot of water, but it's a great way on a dead calm day to find the fish. We're running down the weed line and we find this stick, you know, with some rope attached to it, and pulling up to it, we see these triple tails. So, you know, we get in the water, cameraman gets in the water, we're checking this triple tail out, trying to get him to eat. And out of the corner of our eye, this dolphin comes shooting in. I grab a big mullet, I throw it out there, and it didn't take long, and he grabs a hold of this thing. I got bit. A little better one there.
Get her in here.
Guy's sitting here trying to catch a triple tail, and this dolphin swims up. Nice little one, probably 15-pounder. And that's the whole thing. We're sitting here trying to catch a triple tail.
Dolphin,
Dolphin swims up. I grab a pitch bait, throw it out there to him. This weed line is perfect. This is exactly what you want. Perfect structure. And there he is. Look at that. Look how lit up he is. Look at those colors. This is a little better fish here. Nice shot. Nice shot. Look at that. God, that's the one we're looking for right there. He swam up, tossed him a pitch bait, sitting in this weed line. Looking for triple tail, look at that. And this is what we're blessed with. God,
It's a good fish.
that is a better one there for sure.
In the Yeti it goes, right?
Yeah, let's throw them on ice. Dolphin are they're a fun fish to catch. Visually, probably one of the prettiest fish in the ocean. You know, usually pretty aggressive. Take a variety of baits, live baits, you know, fly, hard baits, soft baits. It's one of my favorites.
Yep, I got him. He's coming
Here
to eat both.
He tried to eat the other one right
He
under
did.
the boat. Oh! God, we were running down this weed line, just running and gunning. I had one on the Ozuri. I broke him off. That little light tackle. Now we got them all around the boat.
There he is.
They're so quick. That's a good little fish, Mike.
Not a bad little guy there, little bull.
You ready for the gaff?
Yeah. Can you give me a gaff real quick?
Nice little bull there.
Yeah, look at that.
Good job, man.
You ate that one.
Oh,
Trying to eat yours after.
what a cluster. We had him running all around the boat. Man.
Yeah, let's get him in the Yeti.
Man, that was a great 2 days of fishing right there.
Yeah, it was a lot of good fishing.
I
Everywhere.
mean, just, you know, a variety of species, different techniques that we utilized, and saw a lot of different cool stuff. And I tell you what, man, out of the St. Lucie Inlet, this Jensen Beach area, it is absolutely incredible. Let's take it home, huh?
All right, let's go.
So we went out to St. Lucie Inlet in Stuart, Florida, and had a great 2 days of fishing. We utilized a variety of techniques for a variety of fish. There's nothing like getting out in the blue water for a couple days, and I'm glad I had the opportunity to share it with Mike Braz.
No aggressing, no social classing. And a friend I consider your last because now you don't know where I've been. All the love I have found within, but if you come with me, I'll give you something to say. I'll show you how wrong a stereotype can be.